I've been living in the US for the last almost 6 years. 6 years on 9/11, not on purpose, but it's very easy to memorize though, I gotta say. And the question I got for myself, was it worth it? Since I moved here and never been home, if you live in the US and you have immigrant friends or you're an immigrant, you know that it's super complicated, and if you leave the country, you might not be back. And in my case, I will totally not be back. 6 years is like a whole life. If I had a kid 6 years ago, he would be like running here and talking and going to pre-K or something. And I gotta admit that it kind of feels like it's a different life. Like my family, my parents, all of my friends are my past life, because they're not here. I don't see them. I can't like hug them or talk to them in person, only over the phone or social media, which doesn't feel real at all. I do love my life here though. I'm sitting on the shore of the Lake Ontario, looking straight ahead of me and almost can see Canada. Not exactly, but I know that it's there. I saw a deer like 10 minutes ago, just walking in the street. I have a good job, I have friends, but is it what I wanted it to be? Is that how I wanted my life to look like when I'm 30? I don't know. I don't think so. So I want to make a video, was it worth moving to the US for me? Because I've been living here for over 5 years, and now it's like a good time to think about it.
Was it worth it?
Yeah.
You can't say no. Well, not while you're in the car with us. Later when you edited it.
Have you been back home at all since you moved here?
No.
That must be hard.
Yeah. Okay, how I wanted my life to be when I'm 30. I wanted to be married, and I wanted to be a mother and to have 2 kids. After 6 years of living here, I wanted to be at least a green card holder, which I am not. To be happily married to an American. Well, I guess career-wise, I'm doing good. That's one of the list. Then personal life, romantic life is not as good. Not that it's like super bothering me. Like in the US, you don't feel that much pressure like in Russia. Because many of my friends are married and having like 2 or 3 kids. I'm also making YouTube videos, which I really love. That's what brings me a feeling of fulfillment. Like I'm eating a very good breakfast from a kind of pricey coffee shop. But it's so good though. My oat milk latte. Okay, I'm not exactly where I wanted to be at my 30s, but also what is it? How do I measure if it was worth it? Another thing to consider is, do I think that I would be less successful if I stayed in Russia? Am I more successful now than I would be if I stayed there? Some would say yes. Many people think that Russia is like dying. With the number of people who left this year and last year, it's kind of terrifying. But still not the end of the world. I still know a lot of people who are pretty successful, making good money, traveling, like living their lives. So no, I don't think I would be less successful if I stayed there. I would be different, that's for sure. Because living in the US for 6 years, far away from my family and all my friends and everything, shaped my personality in a very different way. I thought I'm gonna read your text. But instead you're filming me.
I can't check my texts, you're right, you'll see them. Film them.
Me and all of my 200 followers.
Yeah.
So I think I'm way more open-minded when it comes to human rights, sexuality, sexual orientation and all this stuff. The thing that Russians hate, this is what I love about living in the US. I feel like I'm being less judged than I would be in Russia. I always felt like I was being judged. Again, for the way I'm expressing myself sexually or not sexually. Or even doing YouTube video, it's hard for me to imagine that I would be sitting somewhere like in Moscow recording myself with a croissant in my hand. I don't know, just this country feels like you can do way more until people start judging you. I became way more independent. That's, I guess, on the surface level. I moved here when I was 24. I had no money. I had like 2 grand or something. And I moved to the New York City, which is not a cheap city. Like, I had no plans. I didn't really have any papers back then. I didn't know anyone, almost anyone. I had no friends, no family. My education just means nothing here. I didn't even have a real work experience being a hostess or a waitress. So I had to learn everything from zero. No money, no friends, no job. I don't know, and I survived. Was all of this worth it? I think yeah. I paid the price to be more independent, to become a real adult. Another question to ask myself, do I regret anything? Would I do something different if I had a chance? The answer is no. I believe in destiny, that a lot of parts of your life are determined already. There's no way to know what would be better. Like, I'm not saying that my life is perfect and I never did bad choices. That's very not true. Absolutely not. But I also know that the way my life looks right now, the way I feel at the moment, is all thanks to what I've done in my past. I made my life look like that. I made myself feel like that and be where I am now. The point being, no, I do not regret anything. I'm very grateful for everything, and if I had a chance to go back and do it all over again, I might do some different choices just because I know the outcomes, but no one guarantees that it would be better, like, at the end of the day.